Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's assassin, should not be killed. It is a tragedy what happened to Charlie Kirk, and I understand that people are angry and we can have righteous anger. That is completely normal. However, look at the following tweets on X that mention that Utah will be seeking the death penalty for Tyler Robinson. Good, he will be in hell soon enough, right where he belongs. Let this monster meet his maker. The chair is waiting. Get him in there. The death penalty is too kind for Tyler Robinson. Let him suffer, terrorized daily. These demons commit these acts because they hate their own life, making live it in the worst conditions imaginable. It did not grant Charlie any mercy, and he does not deserve any from the justice system or us for his actions. There is no place for him in society. If ever there has been a case so worthy of the death penalty, this is it. Prison is meant for reform. There is no reforming this monster. He deserves nothing less than the death penalty. These are individuals who are being cheered on by thousands of other people. They want no mercy to be shown. Tyler Robinson cannot be reformed. He's a monster. He's a demon. He has to suffer. He has to go to hell. If this is not wicked, then I do not know what is. You can be angry. That is completely fine. You can desire justice. That's wonderful. But let's be real, this is not righteous anger. It is shocking that people who consider themselves to be on the good side of the current events cannot see that they are saying really wickedly evil things. And I have had these same feelings throughout my life with countless people, whether it is a terrorist or some other criminal guilty of despicable crimes. I have been angry at the guilty and desired their death. Sometimes that desire flowed out of hatred, other times justice, other times a combination of hatred and justice. There are many people who simply hate and desire evil for their enemies, and the Bible is filled with verses condemning exactly this, commanding us to love our enemies. It does not mean that you have to have positive feelings towards everyone, that you have to like everyone, or that we cannot have righteous anger, but it does mean that we should love them by desiring what is good for them. And that could be justice and repentance, for example. If we respond to hatred with more hatred, as Donald Trump seems to believe, for example,
I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
If we respond to evil with more evil, how are we making the world a better place? You do not do evil hoping that good will come out of it. Unfortunately, this makes the world a worse place. It is only better for the devil, not us. And this is a big problem with the death penalty today. For a lot of people, it comes out of hatred, out of revenge. People might try to justify their hatred by claiming that it is simply justice. And I have been one of those people. But in my heart, I knew that my desire for justice was contaminated with hatred. And if you infect goodness with evil, it is no longer good. If you infect justice with hatred, it is no longer just. You might say, okay, I hear what you are saying. But look, I do not hate Charlie Kirk's killer. I know that hating is wrong, but I am just angry. It's only anger, it's not hatred. So me, I can still desire the death penalty as long as I do not involve hatred in this desire. And this, I believe, is a sincere conviction. And by no means am I trying to dunk on you, but please just consider the following. It is well known that Christians are pretty conflicted with regards to the death penalty, and I have also been very confused not knowing what I am supposed to believe. So I'm very sympathetic towards this confusion. And I have a lot to say on this issue, because trust me when I tell you, this is not as simple as just quoting a Bible verse. I will discuss this in a lot more detail in my upcoming book. But if you do have any specific questions, then please let me know in the comment section. But jumping straight to the answer. Basically, throughout the centuries, the death penalty has been applied justly. However, this form of capital punishment, which I call last resort capital punishment, is only applied for the protection of the common good of society if no other means are available. In other words, it is used as a last resort. Due to the lack of the state's capabilities to render aggressors unable to inflict further harm, capital punishment was justified. However, as Pope St. John Paul II suggested, and Pope Francis fully embraced, today states do have these capabilities. So you might argue that in some cases, especially in third world countries, last resort capital punishment might still exist and can be justified. And if that can be proven and argued successfully, then by all means, I would support you completely. But let's be real, let's be honest. In the case of Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's assassin, you do not need to kill him to render him unable to inflict further harm. And this is why we should not support his execution. The assassin might be guilty of the grave evil of murder, but let's not respond to this grave evil by desiring the evil of murder in return. In this case, it is not justified. As Christians, we can have righteous anger and desire justice, but we cannot give in to hatred and or become advocates for the grave evil of murder.